local tribe, they Owens Lake was very important for them. You know, had a lot of food in terms of birds and salt. Um, its loss was like a family member because indigenous people are almost a little bit like Shinto in a sense. It's an animist kind of spirit in everything. You know, in the air, in rocks, in water. And so to lose the lake was like losing a family member. It's something very hard for us, for many of us to understand. The lake never really went fully away. You know, the Owens Lake disappeared, the mass area, but around it were all these seeps and springs, and they created these wetlands that had the primitive algae mats. These are very old, ancient organisms, and that the brine flies breed on. Their larvae eat the algae, and then the birds come in and eat the flies. And that developed immediately. It was still there. In other words, the lake was kind of inoculated when this dust project came online, and so it just took off like a rocket. Here we go.
Are solitary sandpipers moving through here right now?
Yes. Tricky to find. They're not. They're uncommon.
What were you asking? I didn't hear.
Solitary sandpiper.
Oh, solitary sandpipers.
They're related to the yellowlegs.
Yeah.
The genus is Tringa, and they, true to their name, they are kind of solitary, and they like wet places where there's a little bit of vegetation. Has been my best luck finding them here. We'll try to find every single thing that we can find. You know, we'll be scanning all the time with our binoculars and scopes. And that guy's going way too fast.
You put your scope back in the trunk, sir?
Yeah, I just said tripod.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You have a tripod and a scope, yeah. I have a small scope. I've had to go to a smaller scope because of some of the work I do. It's the larger scopes it's so heavy.
Oh yeah.
I just can't do it all day anymore.
Yeah, I have a larger scope.
I had a nice big Leica scope with the ocular was just huge, like watching a television. My new one now is much smaller. It works very well, but it's much smaller. But it's quite light, which helps me.
How's the lake level right now compared
right
to?
Right now the water's pretty good. The water's up pretty high. You know, the project was originally built to control the hazardous dust. This was the largest dust-producing location in the United States after the 1920s when the lake went away. And so right now the water's pretty high because we're nearing the end of the dust season, which runs from like October to June, when there's the possibility of big storms, big winds. So the project originally started as just dust only, but we bird people, we knew this was coming. We spread water out there. We knew the food web would start again, and it did immediately, and birds came. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and so over a few years we got birds to be included as part of the project habitat. Basically used the Mono Lake decision from 1983 public trust decision that says that, okay, LA needs the water, but people in California, wildlife belongs to them. That has to be balanced. You just can't have all the water from Los Angeles.
For the logs.
Right, and that was the same decision that was up in Mono Lake. It's called public trust doctrine. It took 4 or 5 years, I think. I went to Sacramento and did a PowerPoint presentation for the State Lands Commission staff. And I just showed them birds as far as they could see. And said, these birds are on the land that you manage for the people of California. I mean, what are you going to do? And because they have to give LA a lease, and they can put conditions in that lease for habitat. And so that happened. And then Fish and Wildlife, I worked the same with them. I brought their biologists down, and took them out there and said, this is what you manage for the people of California. How are we going to do that? Otherwise, if you're just an Audubon volunteer, sometimes it's easy for people with power to ignore you.
Yeah.
You need people that have real leverage, like state agencies. Got a lot of help from Audubon, California, friends that I have in there. Okay, we are about to leave the pavement.
Ooh, here's the lake.
Where the pavement ends and the west begins. Look both ways. Okay. All right. My car is very forgiving. I always undo my seatbelts, but you guys do it as you wish. Okay, we're gonna go out here. The lake's about 110 square miles. It's smaller than Owens Lake. Than Mono Lake. It's much smaller than the Salton Sea, which is really big. It's also much smaller than Great Salt Lake, but it still has significant size. The Habitat Dust Project covers about 50% of that area to control dust and create habitat. We're going to go out here about 3 miles and then turn right and to go down into the habitat area. You can almost imagine you see some shiny water out there past those power poles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the area we'll be going, and that kind of look extends all the way around the lake on the east side and all the way down to the south. It's nearly 50 square miles. Buried here, see these large, these are access points here that can be opened up and go down into vaults. There's a pipe buried there that's 60 inches in diameter. It's 5 feet in diameter that is plugged into the side of the Los Angeles aqueduct across the highway behind us. And the water comes down from the aqueduct by gravity out onto the lake, and then pumps and can move it around to the different cells.
So that's where it's coming from, right there.
Yeah, the water that's out there is from the Los Angeles aqueduct. I mean, that's where, in the ancient days, this is where all the water ended up.
Anyway.
From here to Mammoth.
Yeah. And it came back, kind of by accident, but
but it was a wonderful access. This plant community here is botanists would call this a desert scrub community. This one, there might be a dozen or more different species of shrubs. To newcomers, they all look the same, but they're all different, and they all have their own personality and the way they live their life. Lizards, kangaroo rats, snakes, roadrunners. Really a neat habitat.
Do you get any pronghorn antelope out here?
Any what?
Pronghorn antelope?
Longhorn owls?
No, pronghorn antelope.
Oh, antelope. In the old days, there are records that they were here, but they were hunted out to extinction. There are antelope up in Mono County. Just north of Mono Lake is the Bodie Hills. It's where the old ghost town is.
Yeah.
Bodie, up in those mountains, the Bodie Hills, there's antelope herds in there.
We saw some at the Tajon Ranch recently. Tajon Ranch, do you know that? Yeah. We saw some pronghorn there.
Yeah, on the Antelope Valley side.
Yeah, exactly.
Appropriately
named, exactly.
Yeah, really.
That's a beautiful animal.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so graceful. Getting too warm back there?
We're good.
I'm okay. I'm happy.
Okay, yeah. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna warm up. This very bright green shrub here.
What is it?
It's called sarcopatus. That's the Latin name. Greasewood, commonly. But it's an indicator of moisture within 100 feet because their roots can go deep.
Oh wow.
And so that's a sign that there's water at depth, but not too deep. It's beautiful. It'll green up, and then later in the summer, it'll lose its leaves so it doesn't lose water so much.
Right.
But it needs to flower, right? It needs to make the seed.
Right.
That's the job that you have to do each year.
What's the common name?
Greasewood.
Greasewood.
But the problem is you go to Utah, greasewood is a creosote wood.
Creosote, that's what we know it as, yeah. Yeah.
That's the problem with common names.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it as creosote.
We know it as creosote.
Creosote.
That's what I thought it was.
But this
That's
is
the smell
not.
of
This is
rain
not
in the
creosote.
It is.
Oh, this is creosote. Okay.
Right here is where the deserts, all these life zones come together. It's kind of like Tajon.
Yeah.
We have the Great Basin coming with the big sagebrush, the big one, and then going that way, we go into the Mojave Desert into the south, and where you can find Joshua trees and creosote and things like that. Then we have the influence of the Sierra Mountains. They all kind of come together right in this region.
Does that cause more biotic diversity, Mike? Because there's so many different areas coming together?
Yeah, it adds to a lot of diversity.
Yeah.
Because things come together, and so it's animals and plants can move. There's corridors. That was the importance of the Tajon Ranch, and then wind wolves next to it,
Right.
and others now. Tehachapi Pass, large ranches that have conservation easements on them now are these large chunks of connected land through the mountains will allow bears, lions, and things to be able to move. One of the ways of controlling dust was gravel.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing here. put down a cloth, kind of a textile cloth used in road building, and then scatter the rock on top. They thought about solar for a while out here, but it's a very harsh environment for anything metal and whatnot. So that's just kind of an artifact.
So the gravel, how did that affect the? So there's a geotextile you're saying, and then the gravel on top of that.
Yes.
How did that affect the plant life?
Well, what we're seeing is you'll see there's plants growing on it.
Yeah.
And,
but not as much as back there.
Right, exactly. These are plants that are not dependent on groundwater.
Right.
Like these over here, saltgrass and things that they depend on water being near the surface. So these are a seed that have come in. These are volunteer native plants. This is a common one out here is a particular species of saltbush.
Yeah.
This one is Atroplex perry. But these just blew in. We call them botanists. We call them volunteers, like in your gardening. You know, plants come up by themselves. Right. And so they'll come in and grow on top of that. The concern here is you don't want sand to get in because it'll cover the rock, and then you're back to a dust situation.
Right.
So but if you can get enough vegetation on the ground, it doesn't have to cover it. You can slow the wind speed at the surface. Below 20 miles an hour, the dust will not come up.
Oh. So they've been doing studies to show,
They did wind tunnels, modeling, just huge amounts of science. I think they did about $52 million worth of science between the 70s and 90s. Then LA finally surrendered and said, yes, we did cause this. We did cause this problem. We diverted the river, the lake dried up. We accept that. We will we commit to a reasonable fix. And they chose the best things that would work, the tools. One of them was water, one was plants, another was gravel. Gravel doesn't have the habitat value. The lizards and spiders like it. They love it. We now have lizards all the way out in the middle of the lake as they follow the rock. These are some of the pumps that move the water around underground. So vegetation was another dust control tool, and we're going to come into this area on the right, alkali meadow. This is all planted, all native species, saltgrass, different shrubs and rushes. And you can see the rainbirds out there.
Yeah, it's irrigated.
Yeah, and that helps leach some of the salts out too. This salt makes it difficult to grow them. So this is an alkali meadow habitat. It's a native habitat in this area. Around the state, we've lost a lot of it because it was in the San Joaquin Valley and agriculture was existed. So it's good to have it. Tule elk like to graze out there.
Oh, so you've seen tule elk out here?
Yes, we saw some yesterday right across the river.
Oh, neat. And where do they have do they grow the grass from seed or?
Yeah, they did some seed, and they did some where they chunked it out and made plugs.
Okay.
And they can plant it using just regular farm equipment, just like you're going to go out and grow carrots or something.
Are there wildflowers that come up in these meadows too?
Some, not too much.
No, mostly grass.
Saltgrass this is the same grass that grows at Bolsa Chica, Bayona on the coast.
Yeah.
And it's the same grass. It can tolerate salinity to a certain level. Okay. We're going to just park right here and start. Oh, I got somebody
Yeah.
right over there.
I think killdeer over there. I think that's what it is. Are there killdeer here, right?
Yes, they nest here.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
how
like
cool.
along the road.
This would be, it could be nesting. We'll keep an eye on that one because we're going to walk a little bit this way. We're going to walk a little bit that way. Spend a little time here. Okay. Swallows, maybe barn swallows. We also went by big meadows that had rainbird sprinklers in them. Those are native meadows that were planted. Another barn swallow. Some of them winter in Argentina. I'm going to talk with my mouth full a little bit.
We can read, Muffin.
Pardon?
We understand, Muffin. We read.
I like that.
That's a good language.
That's very good. So gravel's a tool for dust and habitat. Vegetation is a tool, and of course water. I mean, the kindergartner would say that, right? They would say, well, you just get it wet, it won't be dusty.
Can you see what the sandpiper is? Oh, that's I'm gonna get my scope.
When the water originally came on in 2001, we bird folks knew what was going to happen. And so there was a big opening in November of '01. DWP put up a big giant event tent. They had
What is it?
cookies from the Girl Scouts. They had soft music in the background, vans to drive people out there. So that was November. Spring of '02, there were American avocets nesting on every horizontal surface on the lake in just months. Thousands. I mean, thousands. So, nature finds a way.
Yeah.
And she's resilient. Excuse me for getting ready here and taking time. I know you want to get after it. We have lots of time. Okay, we got our scopes with us. I have 3 of these. If anybody would like to look at these or use these, I have to give these back. But this is the lake. I'll also take a photograph.
Yeah.
This is where we came in, this arrow. We came in off of Highway 395. We came out here, and then we went south down into this area. Here's the Owens River, and then all that whole far shore. Let me put it right down here in the ground.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's
That whole eastern shore is the Habitat Project, and the whole southern end. It's close to 50 square miles. Blue basically is water-based. Green is vegetation. And it's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. You know, you're working with the Department of Water and Power, City of Los Angeles.
There's a band of sparrows sitting on top of us.
It's a mammoth organization, over 10,000 employees, billions of dollar budget, political aspects. But we in Inyo County and Mono County have been the mouse that roared. We have been able to do it because one thing that makes America so great, and we have to protect, especially right now, is that the law levels the land. That everybody walks into that court equal. Voices, we're going to try to keep our voices to a nice outside quiet voice.
Inside.
And we're going to walk down this road. We had a pair of northern harriers here yesterday, male and female. small ones we call peeps. It's kind of a generic name for small sandpipers. In Europe, they call them stints. So for birders, there's the 7 deadly stints, which are the little ones here, and in Eurasia, there's about 7 of them that are, and they're tricky. This leaf sandpiper, those are different.
There's some rough wings swallows.
Rough wings, they're kind of floppy and more brown. They don't have those real saber-pointed wings.
And
They fly, believe it or not, a little more slowly and lazily. And those are rough-winged swallows. They'll dig holes in the banks of rivers, like the Owens River. The river is cut down into old lake beds, ancient lake beds, and there's places where it's just full of rough-winged swallow nests. We also have barn swallows out here. You'll
Are there
see.
tree swallows?
Oh, hey, yeah.
Tree swallow, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you're
Tree
good.
swallows, we got a good birder with us here.
I'm impressed.
We got a good birder with us
I
here.
want your brain.
Binoculars, one of the ways we teach people is binoculars, to use them is to follow swallows. So just go out and just get into a mess of swallows and practice following flying birds. It's good for you. Yeah, tree swallow. Tree swallow, very white underneath.
And then bluish above.
Yeah, kind of a gunmetal blue on top, but we can't see that because they're above us right now. But that's who these are. Tree swallows can tolerate cold. They tend to show up first.
What's it called?
A tree swallow. So they'll nest in woodpecker holes, like at aspens and things like that. We have half a dozen swallow species, I think. So we've seen 3 of them here. We've seen a rough-winged swallow, tree swallow, and a barn swallow. Okay, what we're looking at, we also want to listen to rails, Sora and Virginia. They're in here. They nest in the building. Oh, mushroom. I heard it.
Oh,
Also in here, in this, we're going to have common yellowthroat. Yellowthroat is a warbler that lives in the tules and wet areas. Incredibly beautiful. Okay, these are red-winged blackbirds that are on territory. That's really like picking them out. So you can see this vegetation in here is all volunteers. This is coyote this is coyote. Or raccoon. But this vegetation here is all volunteers. Seed from the aqueduct, the LA aqueduct. As we drove down the dirt road from the highway, on our left, it buried is a 5-foot diameter pipe, plugged into coyote for sure, plugged into the LA aqueduct across the highway. And that 5-foot pipe brings aqueduct water back to where it used to go traditionally, to Owens Lake. It comes down by gravity.
So you're saying there's plant material being carried down in the aqueduct that ends up
Oh
here?
yeah, the aqueduct has all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All the seeds. All these seeds came from it. There's a willow right there. Cattails, rushes down here, seed, salka. Oh, it is a yellowthroat. Okay.
Ooh, that's a beautiful bird.
In the snags, the dead stuff.
Black robber mask.
Yeah. Let's get it in our scopes, people.
Yeah, he's going.
That was a common. We had a common yellowthroat. Hopefully. You know, sometimes our minds will play with us. Like, I've been out with people that wanted to invent a bird from what they were seeing. You know, because there are some people that do that. They're listers. A lot of them. They simply want a long list.
Right.
They don't necessarily get into natural history and all those kinds of things. But I like the stories, the life. They will work so hard to invent it into something rare. And you have to be really careful with that because birding is all based on an honor system. Yeah. If you are ever found out to post something wrong, it'll just ruin your reputation for virtually forever.
Be careful what you report to Maryland because they are watching.
Yeah, I got called that one.
I was hoping that yellowthroat would come back up. When you pitch like that, the yellowthroats and the marsh wrens will come to the top.
Those marsh wrens in there. I keep hearing wrens.
Yeah. That's the yellow-headed blackbird.
Okay.
It sounds like it's being strangled. Oh, hey, Caspian tern.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Stop talking. That's the call of a Caspian tern.
Beautiful.
That's a very large Caspian tern. They're worldwide. If you go birding in Europe or Eurasia, you'll see them. There are some birds that are very widespread. Osprey found everywhere.
Barn swallow.
Pardon?
Barn swallows too.
Yes. That's the yellow-headed blackbird.
I see a blackbird in there.
Could be that one.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there's another killdeer.
Oh yeah, I killed
I hear it.
Plover is a plover. You know, plovers are a certain group of shorebirds. There's a little over 40 species worldwide. A lot of variety.
I guess I must be landing soon.
Yeah, come on, land.
Those are sandpipers.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
Of course they're behind the grass.
they're on the mud.
There'll
Yeah,
be a million of them on another pond.
yeah, I saw quite a few yesterday. I see a couple of coots, the farthest pond.
Four
I
of
see,
whatever they are.
There's a
I
lot of
see
coots.
coots.
Yeah.
You're all the same
These little
size.
guys.
Tons of coots.
The least sandpiper is the smallest sandpiper
Excuse me.
in the world.
Is that what those are?
Yes,
Four
I'm
little
pretty
dudes.
sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are least.
They're very small, so.
They're very teeny. They nest.
There were two of them.
They nest in the north. I'm not sure they go up as far as westerns, where it's just the opposite. No, I think it's the westerns that go farthest north. We can look at maps in our guides.
The killdeer's up there a little bit.
Some of the western sandpipers will cross the Bering Strait and they'll nest in eastern Russia. What's nice is with the light on these, you can probably see the light legs. So least light legs, or light legs least.
Oh, they are like.
Western
Sometimes they
has
have
black.
mud on them.
There's the Caspian, beautiful. They've occasionally nested.
So that hair flying,
He's running.
It could be. I think they're migration. There have been cases where they have nested on the islands of Mona Lake.
Look long enough.
And they nest amongst gulls and other things.
There's also one over here still.
Well, we'll move up. We're going to get in. We're just entering the pond areas, believe me.
Lone pine.
Oh, the sprinklers came on. Everything's controlled by a big nerve center on the other side of the lake. You go in there, it's like you're in Houston in the space control thing. It's all these screens that control all these valves and water levels. And it's tremendous. And we have about 300 or 400 snow geese there in the winter. We got to keep our eyes open because the lake is good for this time of year for peregrine falcon because they have a movable feast, as Hemingway would say.
Yeah, you can see them from here. You don't even need binoculars.
There's a lot of heat coming off that.
Yellowhead, and we can get that on the scope if you know. Oh,
Yeah, he's not gonna see
look
that.
at it.
Oh, now we're not playing
Ooh,
nice.
look at that.
Okay, a little bit of traffic.
We've got a sandpaper plant.
We've got a DWP truck making sure there's no pipes that are broken and things. They 7 days a week. And okay, we got a scope in the road. We want to pick up there. Oh, I thought they were going to drive up here. Huh.
They're following us.
We're trying to. Have people gotten a good look at a yellow-headed blackbird? Everybody?
Yellow-headed, yeah.
Again, a bird that's in declining numbers, but here it does very well. They're not here in the winter; they'll leave. Red-winged blackbird has interesting territory. They will defend to the death any other male that will come into the area where their nest is, about this big. And that's the extent of their territory. If they go off to feed along the muddy shore or a bird feeder, you'll see the males next to each other. No big deal. But they get inside that circle where that nest is, they'll pull every feather out.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's very, very serious. Just coots here. Oh, I heard a Sora.
I just heard it. So that's a Sora.
Two gadwalls
Gadwalls?
in and amongst the coots.
Yeah.
There.
There.
Yeah.
That's the Sora.
It's out here somewhere.
Oh, Sora.
Yeah, I've seen it one time. It was a rainy day.
Soras will nest here. We have video of their chicks feeding with chicks of Virginia rails. Actually, right just down the road.
Yeah.
Gadwall's a good duck to work on. Here, mallards, gadwall. I've got a nice yellow-headed
Yeah, yellow-headed's a nice
male.
one too. Singing.
Wow, it's so pretty.
Yeah. If you haven't seen a yellow-headed really up close, you can look at my scope.
Wow.
Yeah,
The Latin name, I can lower that.
the X.
The Latin name for yellow-headed blackbird, because there is humor in ornithology, is Xanthocephalus xanthocephalus, which is yellowhead.
It's like gorilla.
Xantho is yellow and cephalus.
It's gonna land.
Okay,
It landed. Further back.
what fun.
And the rest of those things are coots.
That's the zigzag road there, that ZZ Top Road over there. That's paved all the way up to 10,000 feet in foxtail pine forest. It's a unique place. And so on your visits to the Owens Valley, you can go up there and there's very nice hikes. There's backpacking too, of course, but there's nice day hikes you're in foxtail pine, which is a very local pine, closely related to bristlecone. And it has a disjointed a population. There's our Caspian. Heavy bright orange bill, if you see it. There's two populations of foxtail pine. There's one from here up at the Big Pine area in the Sierra, and then Klamath, the sacred Klamath Mountain. Maybe the most rich diversity in all of North America, except for maybe the Smoky Mountains. Tremendous. They have a square mile up in the Klamath area, Klamath-Siskiyou, where they have 19 species of coniferous plants.
Wow.
They call it the Miracle Mile. It's a square mile. It's in Russian wilderness up there. And if you carefully work with boulders and around delicately, you'll find a salamander.
Okay.
One of our field trips we had here during the campaign for the California Desert Protection Act in '94 is we had Senator Cranston, who was our flag bearer in the Senate, out here with Robert Stebbins from, the reptile person from Berkeley, wrote the book, literally. On their hands and knees, Stebbins was taking Cranston through the boulders and the wet spots and found one of those rare salamanders, this slender salamanders. So they're up every one of these canyons where there's water. It's hard getting there, is the problem. It's very rough roads to where you can get on foot, and then on foot it's tough. You got to bushwhack.
Cool.
These mountains are not super old. The Sierra has risen in the last 3 to 5 million years. The same with the Inos. This whole landscape regionally here was a rolling land. Large mammals, the kind from La Brea, the tar pits and things. The big things lived here, and so the storms from the ocean could just come all the way inland.
Yeah.
Is that what it
I
is?
think it is.
And
yeah.
the rivers,
The marsh wren.
the marsh wren. Did it come up?
Yeah, well, I think that's what it is. It's definitely a wren, and I can hear it singing.
Yeah.
So the mud across from the little green island, the mud, and then go into the right.
Okay.
You'll see him jumping around.
Anyhow, the rivers went from east to west. They went into the ocean. And most of those rivers are now gone, but we can find remnants of them even on top of the Sierra where it's risen up. We found, we found the geology, the kind of rock that would be there. So it's pretty fascinating. The salamander, the reason I started that line of thought was that the salamander that is millions and millions of years old,
Sandpipers.
sandpiper,
Big flock of peeps.
it rode, that's a small pet. The salamanders rode those mountains.
Okay.
The salamanders rode the mountains.
Rode those mountains up
Oh, beautiful.
out of, up into the sky. But these mountains around here and out through the desert we call Sky Islands because there's these oases surrounded by desert. It's like an island surrounded by ocean.
I just took the North Pass to Saving Valley a week or so ago. I never saw so many wildflowers over that path. It
Yeah.
was insane. It was so beautiful.
Ooh,
There'd be a
look
lot
at
of
there.
glitter.
Tons. There was light purple, dark purple, pink.
Sora rail. We've had a bittern around. Hope we can get a glimpse of it. We had a ton of blackneck stilts in here yesterday.
There goes the open.
Okay. I like to come out here, and most of the time I come out by myself because I like to be by myself. In terms of, with me, it's a spiritual thing. I'm not a cultist or anything. It's just a personal thing with me. I have this wonderful feeling of calmness when I'm in nature. I always have. That's the thread that I finally figured out how I got to where I was. Because when you get older, you start wondering how did I get here? Behind the wheel of this powerful automobile. And it was growing up. I had this family that was outdoors family. We fished, we dug clams, we got abalone, we swam in the Russian River. That's where I learned to swim. I was happiest with that family and those places. And the saddest time of my life then was Sunday night driving back home to go to school the next day after a weekend at the family cabin at the coast. And so I come out here mostly by myself, so it's really quiet. And all there are natural sounds. Coot.
No, something else going. Like that.
You know, the difference between those of us in Western culture and those in other cultures, in this case Japan, the saying is that in Japan, a person knows what to do in an empty elevator. They don't worry about being by themselves. They don't talk to themselves. Silence is comfortable. In our culture, it's just this incredible pace all the time, even in small towns. People just never slow down, and they're just loud, and they won't ever stop talking. And they need to learn from nature, you know, what the baseline is. Marshmallows.
2 mushrooms.
What's the movement in these trees? Oh, it's in the top, anyways, the rusty trees. Up the top. That could be a yellow throat. Those could be yellow throats. Or did you saw some yellow on it?
There's the other one.
If you get the male, it is a beautiful bird. Black mask, yellow underneath. It's a warbler. It's in the same genus, I believe, as all of the warblers we chase. You know, yellow rumps and all of them.
That one is definitely a yellow.
Oh, right there.
Oh,
The one that's flying.
You need them to stay on the top, though.
That's it. I gotta say grammar, not genus.
Well, be patient, which is hard.
Oh, there he is.
There.
Is there
That's
two
a
left,
ring-billed gull, the one on the right. That gull by itself on the right,
Yeah.
extremely pale gray
Yeah.
in the back.
Yeah.
That's a ring-billed gull. Some places in the lake, believe it or not, have actually fish have appeared.
Yeah,
And it's
I was
these-
going to ask you about
These
it.
northern ponds from that map, the ones that are on each side
Anybody
of the
have
river,
that big group in his
they
book?
have carp. And so carp, like babies, have come through the aqueduct water and gotten out here because when the carp are like dying or like the water gets too low, oxygen goes down, this place will fill up with great blue herons and egrets. And then raccoons and coyotes will drag the dead carp up on the road. The vultures will come in. It's just quite a scene. Owens Lake 100 years ago was too salty for fish. Back in the glacial ages, when it overflowed the Death Valley, it had fish in it, the original pupfish. But it has allowed things like these terns to have something to eat, because Owens Lake's not a place that's going to have fish. Like Salton Sea, the fish are gone. And so pelicans that fed there for so long, they have nothing to eat. So that's been a neat addition. Again, another accident.
How did the carp get in there?
They flowed through the plumbing
Okay.
from the aqueduct,
Uh-huh.
or when in 23 we had the huge runoff, the river was overflowing and it came into some of these areas. Yeah, what you got?
I don't think those are mallards, right? Those two ducks over there. It doesn't look like
cinnamon teal.
cinnamon teal, because
Yeah,
the
cinnamon
cinnamon
teal's
belly.
out there, yep.
Okay,
Yeah, that's cinnamon teal.
that's the belly.
The
Now,
far
if you-
ones too.
If you go to Chile, if you go to Chile, there'll be a disjunct population of cinnamon teal, and they call them pato rojo, red duck. It's kind of a unique thing with birds. There's some. Actually, I think it might be considered the same species.
Yeah, same species.
And that's in Chile. I was out here with a Chilean biologist. She was a student at Utah State in Logan. She was going to help us with the data, analyzing the data for the Intermountain West, 30 years of surveys, and try to analyze it in terms of populations or trends and things like that. In fact, she's defending her dissertation this next week, I think. But she was fun. We came out, we birded all day, and who's that flying there? Is that a tern?
I think that's a turn.
Yeah. And she taught me about coots and things. That they have a coot down there. It's as big as a goose.
Oh yeah, the giant coot.
The giant coot.
You know it.
You're the only other human being besides her, of course, that I've ever spoken with that knew that.
And they have these giant nests made of rocks, like piles of rocks and lakes.
You know what he does in all his free time. He's never been to Chile, but
You will be.
Good.
Sure.
yeah, he
You're
will.
gonna.
I went to Ecuador, finally. I did 5 weeks in Ecuador and never went to the Galapagos Islands.
Oh wow.
But I saw 100 hummingbirds.
We just went to the Galapagos
Wow.
in December. It was really cool.
Yeah, we did 5 weeks. We did the coast of Ecuador. We did each of the mountain ranges because they're parallel. We did the intermountain areas.
Oh wow.
Mind blowing. That's all I can say.
So you mentioned there was many years
So
ago
that's Peru.
there was freshwater, so there
Chile,
were
that's
pupfish that were here.
Yeah, they were the ancestors of pupfish. The Cyprinodon is the genus. And so they lived in all of these lakes. And so when the climate changed and all of these lakes
Ringbills
disappeared.
coming in.
Ring-bill duck?
Ringbill gull, 2 of them.
Ringbill what?
Gull.
Oh, gulls.
Oh.
We had a couple of ring-bill ducks.
There's
around
one
there,
in the
yes.
raft over here, and then there's 2 more coming in.
So this is kind of like a Darwinian Galapagos Island thing. When these wet places where that fish went away and they all became isolated, those fish continued to live and they adapted like Darwin's finches and other things on those islands. And that's how we got the different species of pupfish. Yeah. And so in 10,000 years, 12,000 years, 15,000 years, they adapted into unique species.
No, there's just a couple of them
Evolution
back there.
can happen kind of relatively rapidly. He's out here last year. And my neighbor, who's a photographer, would spend a lot of time out here. And I would teach him about birds and natural history, and he would let me use his photographs to defend and talk about Owens Lake. But he found 3 separate dens and families. Has photos of the moms with the pups. And, one of his photos was one of the prize winners for the Fish and Wildlife Service that they'll use. It was 2 pups. 2 coyote pups he took right over here.
I
My friend had a den of red-tailed foxes
Oh, wow.
in the yard, and the neighbors wanted to do something about them. She said, "Don't you dare go near them. Let those. They'll find their place."
Right down here at this intersection, this is Four Corners. We're going to be able to look into 4 of these cells at the same time. These 2 and then the 2 ones that are farther. We should see some good things. There's a big duck. That's probably a mallard, or no? Mallard. They were feeding babies right down that way. When you come out here in May, there'll be broods of all these different species of ducks. There'll be half a dozen in each pond. Gadwall, mallard, yeti ducks, coots, sometimes eared grebes. Shoveler to the right of those cattails.
I'll take one of those.
And it's a beautiful male, chestnut side, white at the front and back.
Oh,
Big-
there he is. I see him.
Big green head, massive
Yeah.
bill.
Sort of straight, but oh, is that a female that's with him?
Very likely. As far as I know, they nest north of us.
Yep,
but
that's a female.
You
shoveler.
wonder, with everything changing. Like, we're on
See
the
him?
very southern end of cinnamon teal nesting area.
Okay, so big grass
I don't know if
in
we have
the,
any record
in front of
them
the bare
nesting
rock.
here, and
to the left of the Green
I keep
Island.
trying to find them.
You'll see a sort of
Yeah.
shock of white.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's his chest.
The white chested.
That's a northern shoveler.
He's got
Shoveler.
his-
Northern shovelers are filter feeders, big
There's a green
spoonbill.
female just to the left of the
And they
island.
get in big
Now he's
masses
turned
and
his
they'll
head.
move in a
Cinnamon
slow,
sides,
gentle
big green
circle.
head.
They call it milling.
A bill
Wow.
in
to
bays
befit their
and
name.
brackish places like this.
Yes.
And they're just sucking in and out
you're buying
like
those
a gray whale. Those
Mine are 10, so.
the muck and stuff.
As
And
long as
then
it's
with
nice
the
and
tongue
sunny,
they'll
the
push
times
the
are great.
water out and swallow the blob.
Which out here we don't have. Far way out there.
Northern shoveler.
Oh, northern.
Now northern shovelers like brackish water, so they love Owens Lake. They're here in the winter. Oh.
Is that the turns again?
That's the turn.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, was that a marsh wren nest on the left there?
I think there are 2 down there, I believe. And I think those are like redwing.
Oh, red wing.
Or they
it's
could
kind of a,
pretty big.
yeah.
Yeah. There were
2 what?
they're nests of I think red-winged blackbirds. They're right back there on the left.
Oh, yeah, there's the shoveler.
We have a very nice male shoveler that's over there.
Is that a female next to it?
I think so.
Yeah, we think so. I think Sarah got on that.
Do you have a scope on her?
I
I'm
do.
just using binos.
You want to look?
Yeah.
Or a pair of shovelers.
Right in the middle. That's
Far side.
Yeah, they're both shovelers.
Sort of between the 2.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can see the beak.
Big old. Yeah.
Now shovelers love Owens Lake. We've had more than 30,000 in a day out here.
Pair of gadwalls flying.
Oh, careful. We got the little white flaps.
Yep.
And in the wing.
Yep, right here.
Got 'em.
Almost, yeah.
Ducks are sometimes grouped into big ducks, little ducks. Hunters do that.
Whoa!
Oh, big pocket.
Come in this way.
I had 200-300 Lease and Westerns mixed over there yesterday.
I like it when they're mixed. It's helpful for me personally. Guys,
I like them side by side, and if you can get photographs, then you can teach people with those. Same thing with the yellow legs.
how I learned the difference.
Side by side. A group where I think the genus is like Troglodyte or something like trogs. 'Cause a lot of them they like to nest in caves and in little places like that.
The marsh wren.
They're fierce. They'll eat the eggs of other nesting birds or even others of their own species. The male will build 5 or 6 nests, and the female will choose which one to use. I think there's close to 300 species of wrens all the way down through South America and Eurasia. Great singers. I read one of the old California bird writers, forgot his name right now, wrote a classic book, a series actually, multi-volume on California birds. And he described the wrens as notorious songsters. So literary, I love this.
Great.
Notorious. One of my grandsons is named Wren. The other one is Corvus. And then the girls are Kestrel and Veery. Yellowheaded like to feed on the road. They can get seeds and things. We're going to walk up to this intersection because there's 2 new ponds we'll see. And there's birds sometimes. And we'll go back and get our car.
And I'll go back and adjust it at the end of the day when we're done.
So is the public allowed to come out here?
Yes, this is state lands. Owens Lake is, the Constitution of California says that any water under navigable areas, lakes, rivers, things like that, tidal areas, it belongs to the state of California, sovereign land. So this was once navigable. That's why we can apply the public trust doctrine law to it, to defend it. And so it's open, you can come out here. There's hunting during duck season, not that many people, and they're usually gone early. But you can spend a lifetime out here.
When is duck season?
Duck season is usually October to the end of January.
Oh my goodness.
Tell me about the brine shrimp.
The brine shrimp, like at Owens, Mono Lake, the brine shrimp are here at Owens. They're not in every pond. In some of the areas, in the brackish areas, they're more prevalent. I think they might be the same species. They make a cyst, a little, kind of like a seed or a hibernating thing that to get through winter. It's been found that those cysts are still viable in up to 200 years because they've uncovered some as they did coring. They had good aging, aging those layers, and they germinated them. Ear grebes love brine shrimp, but brine shrimp are difficult to digest, like phalaropes, like Wilson's phalaropes. They would starve to death if they ate only brine shrimp. In fact, some lab studies kind of showed that, University of Connecticut. And so Wilson's phalaropes, they like the alkali flies, the third instar, the third iteration, the biggest, fattest, oiliest one. Whereas ear grebes can eat those brine shrimp, and ear grebes have this extra long part of their intestine that allows them to do the digestion or process eating those brine shrimp. But we have them here at Owens. This dark stuff is bulrush. It's a sedge. It's dark. The lighter green is cattail. Midge patch right here. See this kettle? They won't bother you. They don't bite or sting. Yep, so this is Four Corners. It allows us to see some nice shorebird habitat to the left, these little sandy islands. Right in here, when this was almost drying up, it was just wet down to this corner. Last year is where we had the chicks of the Sora and the Virginia Rail.
Oh.
So we got still photos and video of the youngsters.
Nice.
Oh, that'd be your carp.
Yeah. You see a carp?
We had a big,
They're very
big
shy.
fish in here, a carp.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw them last time. I was like, how did they
So another accident for nature. I mean, the dust project turned into a wildlife project also. You know, it started as dust only. DWP wasn't going to give one drop of water for anything other than dust, because that's what the law was requiring. And so then these ponds, these northern ponds, especially near the river, that the fish have somehow got in here. There must be some magic about this, you know.
Yeah.
Two more shovelers.
It's a nice place to be when the sun comes up, and to come up with it and
Pair
be
of
by
gadwall.
yourself, good cup of coffee. And it's just I bring a chair because I get tired of standing with my scope in my back.
out here? Yeah.
And
Teal doing the little bobby dance. More gadwall.
doing the head. Was that a Sora again?
Yeah, it's right in here.
More gadwall.
So there's
more
one on each side of the
shovelers.
road. There's a Sora on each side. Almost a kettle. Here comes another.
There's another one.
8 of them now.
Well, see, 20,000 of them will nest
More
in the
coming.
islands of Owens Lake. That was a yellow lake. Oh, I forgot. Oh, the water's coming on. Fill the tub. That's aqueduct water. That's melted snow from Mammoth on down.